Some of you have asked me to comment on Deutsche Bank, so I'm going to comment. My comment is I have no idea what's going to happen to Deutsche Bank. If you think back over past banking crises, going all the way back to the Lehman thing and the great financial crash that we had here and all over the world, really, there were just all I can say is there were some crazy things that happened. All right, I remember, for example, Wachovia. Wachovia went out of business not because of insolvency, because basically the Fed just sat there and allowed a bank run to happen. And the reason I know this was because it was stated by Sheila Bair at the time. Well, when she said that insolvency was not the reason for Wachovia shutting down, then what was the reason? I mean, the Fed, the main reason the Fed was created was to preclude bank runs. So that was just, sometimes things could get in the midst of craziness, things could get crazy. With the Greek banks, right? I know people who invested in the Greek banks because they looked cheap, quote unquote. But guess what? They stayed cheap. That guy, what's his name? Mesvinsky, who is the husband of Chelsea Clinton. He had something like, I don't know, a $500 million hedge fund. He lost everything. He lost all of his clients' money. But of course, he's a Clinton. So, I mean, he gets off scot-free. But he lost all his money investing other people's money. Or I should say he lost other people's money, all of it, investing in Greek banks, thinking there was going to be a turnaround. In Japan, the banks there are functionally zombie banks. I mean, they really exist now to clear transactions and as depository institutions. I mean, their role as major lenders, as creators of loans, the Bank of Japan has been trying everything to get that to happen in a crazy backward way. And, this same story applies in Europe. I'm talking about the negative interest rates. If you look at what's crazy about the Deutsche Bank situation, is that here you have a bank whose capital is being called into question. Its very solvency is being called into question, and you have a central bank that overrides the entire European monetary system that is charging negative interest rates. So functionally, that's like a tax on banks, right? Their reserves are getting charged, whereas normally reserves are a source of income for banks. The reserves are getting charged, so that eats into earnings, it eats into bank capital, and then you have the biggest bank in Europe about to go under, and there's the ECB standing by its negative interest rate policy, telling everybody how it's a stimulus. So it is just beyond bizarre. Deutsche Bank is the largest bank in Germany. Germany wields a lot of power within the EU. I think it has been stated that they're not going to give Deutsche Bank a bailout. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know what goes on in the heads of these politicians. So I cannot really make a call on Deutsche Bank. I can say that the fiscal flow situation, yes, here in the United States, that just compounds the woes of Deutsche Bank. By the way, the Justice Department is asking for a $14 billion fine against Deutsche Bank, right? And the EU is asking for $14 billion from Apple. So there's politics going on here. There's no doubt about it. I mean, good luck in trying to figure this one out. That's all I could say. I don't mind seeing the stock market come down. I've been short. And at some point, I'm going to turn around because once I start to see if the flows resume here, not that they've ended, I'm just saying re-accelerate, okay? And we'll see that starting in the new fiscal year right away. We'll start to see the comparisons year over year. So my answer is, what happens with Deutsche Bank? I have no clue. I have no idea. You'd have to get into the head of Angela Merkel, figure that one out. I guess if you work over at the NSA, they're probably listening to her phone conversation right now. I have no idea what's going to happen to Deutsche Bank. That's my answer. Sorry. That's the best I could do. All I could say is the current policies with negative interest rates in Europe and in Japan, Bank of Japan doing the same thing. So it's a tax on bank earnings, it's a tax on bank capital. If these guys really think that that policy is some kind of stimulative, healthy, positive policy, then they're wacko. But we all know they're wacko. They're completely wacko. Bye.